Alright, green light. Alright, let's do this. So, I did do a check last night just to see if we did have enough content to make a video out of. And yeah, with what we've done so far, yep, we definitely have enough. We are good to go, ladies and gentlemen, to get to the next step. And I'm praying to God it's just going to behave, because otherwise that's just going to suck to deal with. And as I predicted yesterday, yep, the reason things were going kind of slow for a while was because of a damn update. That's why I hate Windows, it's so fucking update heavy. And it's gonna, and bear with me if it goes slow for a little bit, because it will. It's literally just recovering from the update. So after the update, it usually goes a little slow. So give it time to wake up. All right, we need a TBOIL chapter 25. We need that, and we're gonna go EQ, because we need to do the EQ first. Well, let's see. Hello, Gems. That's a different name. So we're gonna do the EQ and pray to God that the noise gate doesn't knock anything out. Which basically, if you don't know what an EQ is, it's basically me making the audio sound good. That's basically it. It literally is just me adjusting the pitches and like the tonality of my voice. If you've never been here before, well, prepare to learn something new. All right, not there. I don't need to go there. I need to go to the mixer, right? So I want to do them all on the same EQ. That's why I waited. Let's go to the parametric EQ2. The volume should be fine, I would hope. So after this step, then we'll get to the voice effects. We're probably going to do the EQ adjustment and the whatever I'm talking about, voice effects later on. So we're just going to adjust the different like ranges, excuse me, the different like I guess you could say levels of the spectrum. And I pretty much have mine like memorized, because it's not that difficult to remember. So we just push the bass up a little teensy bit, bring the 3 and 4 down to about right here. These are my mids, so about right there. The 5 is the one that's really the tricky one, because I bring that down and I kind of push it out or push it in to kind of play with the tonality. Then we're going to bring the 6 down, because that's a higher range. We're just going to kind of cut down my high ranges a little bit. Okay, now the 5. I need audio for that.
Banyu's original home had been very hard to get to, being hidden away from the world by the use of ancient Chilean seals that could only be accessed by said species. The first seal had been against the face of a mountain just north of Mount Hulao, having been covered by overgrowth of vegetation and be
about right there. Okay, I forgot one thing though. I need to push this down first. Move down. Then I need to put a limiter first. See, this is how long it's been since I've done shit. Okay, go to the limiter. We're gonna add a noise gate, and we're gonna push the threshold down about right there.
Banyu's original home had been very hard to get to, being hidden away from the world by the use of ancient Chilean seals that could only be accessed by said species.
Okay, so now we're going to toy with like the spacing and all that lovely stuff.
Hard to get to, being hidden away from the world by the use of ancient Chilean seals that could only be accessed by said species.
So that sounds awkward to me, so we're going to bring it back. Oh God, you're doing this fucking thing. Fucking kill me. Okay, this is going to be a rough day. Oh. Alright, so what we gotta do is we gotta get to like a point where these brackets are not doing this. It's like right at the beginning too. That's kind of the annoying part of it. There we go. That's more like it. So I need to bring this back about right there.
Hard to get to, being hidden away from the Chelan seals that could only be accessed by said species.
Hang on.
Chelan seals that could only be accessed by said species.
I think that's good.
The first seal had been against the face of a mountain just north of Mount Hulao, having been covered by overgrowth of vegetation and being very faded by years of torment from the weather.
So basically what we're doing now, well, first, what we're going to do is we're going to probably, okay. All right, I know what I'm going to do. So we're going to EQ these first and pray to God that they just behave. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to look for like lower noises like this to see if the noise gate is too, what's the word I'm looking for? If it's too sharp, like too snappy, like too quick to close.
That pot up there, that was mine. My mother would let me sleep with her in it every night, seeing I commonly had bad dreams. She'd hum some lullaby to help me sleep, and before I knew it was morning again.
What was that?
It was morning again. I knew it. It was morning again.
Aha. Okay. There's a little bit of a too snappy to close right there, so we need to tighten up the noise gate a little bit. So we need to close the threshold just a teensy bit more.
I knew it. It was morning again.
Something like that. Maybe not even that, but a little bit more
I knew
like
it.
that.
It was morning again. Kuching smiled at her beloved's precious memory. He had bad dreams. She'd hum some
All right, now let's just take a look at some of the other ones just to see.
Those berries. They're called firefly berries because of how easy they are to mistake for one. She continued, walking over and picking one from the bush.
Okay.
They were my favorite thing to eat because they taste sweet.
Okay, it's seeming pretty good, but you can never be too careful. So it seems like that's okay, but the ones that are the real tricky ones is like laughs or chuckles or breaths, something like that.
You won't offend any of my kind.
Yeah, something like that, because those are like in between breaths, so they can be a little tricky. Okay, let's see. What's this?
Delicious, isn't it? Giggle. Delicious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Okay, what is this?
No need to thank me. Whatever is part of my Adeptus heritage is now a part of you, my love.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Yeah, bear with me. We're gonna have a lot of Google notifications coming up. So you're gonna hear dun a lot. Alright, clear all. Alright. I know there's parts in this one, though, where there's, like, breaths. Like, sighs, basically. That looks like one right there. Okay.
I can finally sleep peacefully without guilt, she said with relief. Thank you, Father, for keeping Mom and I safe that day.
We can take those out, though, manually as we go along in the story. What's this?
The next thing I need... Come on.
Okay, that's a little sharp at the base. The ones where Joris shows up.
Shh. It's okay, sweetheart. She comforted emotionally. Mommy's here. Mommy's here. Always.
Okay, not too bad. Let's see, it's where she starts telling, like, tales and stuff like that. And that's after a pause. Yep, right here. Alright, let's see what we got over here. This looks like it. Just make sure the size don't sound weird.
I suppose I should start from the beginning.
Okay. I think this is okay. So let's export this as the one with the EQ applied. MP3. Oh. So we can always fix like little air pockets later on if we need to. TBOIAL chapter 25 EQ. Maybe clean. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this is a longer chapter, isn't it? I forgot about that. Alright, let that export. That's contradictory, but who cares? Anyways. So yeah, we're gonna add like voice effects today, but we have to add the EQ first. The reason why is because if I want to add like certain samples, or when I want to add like effects to certain samples, I basically have to recreate the EQ on those samples. So we have to EQ it first, then add the effects. Kind of annoying, but not that bad. So we'll probably get, if it doesn't take too long, maybe 2 chapters done today. It all depends. But we'll see. Because sometimes these things can be tricky. Sometimes it's not just easy to apply the noise gate and then go to work. Sometimes, you know, breath pockets get stuck in there that you're not aware of and all that lovely stuff. So, yeah. It's just part of the job. It's not like I can manually tell someone, hey, can you remove that? Because I'm not like at a professional studio or anything like that. I'm at my own little home studio. But this is the step before we add all the lovely sound effects and music and all the fun stuff that brings it really to life. There's one scene that I'm not looking forward to at all. Because it's going to be a tricky sound effect to pull off. Like when it comes to fantasy stuff, it really is hard to come up with sound effects sometimes. Because there's sound effects that don't exist in reality. So that's why they're hard, because you have to come up with them yourself. Like, thank God for the person, who was it? Brushstroke. She doesn't like to be called that now, but I can't remember her actual name that she goes by now. But she gave me an MLP sound effects. She basically shared it with me. It's an MLP sound effects folder that she used for her like readings and stuff like that. And thank God she gave me that because, well, she shared that because otherwise, yeah, a lot of my sound effects would not have been good. Especially when it comes to the MLP magic effect, like when the unicorns use the magic. That is a sound effect. I don't know what the hell they did to make that sound effect. It sounds like a mixture of like bells and like, I don't know, like it sounds like an EQ, like it was EQ to sound weird, and it sounds like bells like jingling. It's hard to explain. Maybe even water against metal to give like that sound. You'd never believe how some sound effects are made. Like if you've seen A Quiet Place, the sound effects of the aliens, yeah. That came from, I think it came from like the sound of, what was it? Metal against like an electric like wire or something like that. And then they EQ'd it to sound how it did. It's the sound of like a like metal against like electric, like an electric wire, slowed down. It's actually pretty impressive how they were able to do that. Same thing with the Star Wars like pew 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 sound effect. That's literally the sound of like a wrench being hit against an electric wire. Luckily with gloves on. Otherwise, yeah, you're getting fried. Sorry I can't make this any more entertaining, guys, but it's work. It's work. Like, it's nothing, like, fun by any means. It's work. So it takes a lot of attention to detail. But the point of these are education anyways. Because I know there's people out there that, like, gain inspiration from my work. So I want to teach them, you know, what I do so they can apply it to their works. Even though, you know, I'm not like a Lost Narrator or Scribbler Productions, but I don't know. I really don't care. It's my work. So why should I care? All right. Anyways, load sample. We need to get the chapter 26 clean file. And we need just to apply the same effects. Long chapter, that's why it's taking a minute to load in. But altogether, the parts that we have like worked on already, hang on, Control A, delete. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, put that back. There we go. Just double check that's not breaking off anything or anything like abnormal. Let's just do this. There we go. Now just cut that out. Okay. There's a lot of gunny lines in this one, and that worries me. Alright. Let's listen, shall we?
This is where everything started. I'm in my mother's womb, she confirmed. The reason it's familiar and not at the same time is because most offspring don't have any recollection of their days as a growing being. Yet, I'm here, and it looks like this? Is this some sort of hint to something that has yet to occur in my life? Or do offspring simply manifest their own internal place of comfort prior to birth?
That's a little too snappy. Yeah, did you hear that with the P? That means it's closing the gate a little too fast.
This is where everything starts. Familiar and not at the same time simply manifest their own internal place of comfort prior.
Okay, that didn't do anything. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Springs simply manifest their own internal place of comfort prior.
That works. Okay, but how does it do on like open areas?
This? Is this some sort of hint to something that has yet to occur in my life? Or do offspring simply manifest their own internal place of comfort prior to birth? Following her analogy, a light suddenly shone through the mist straight out from her, to which she knew was where she knew this memory. This was when she had snuck out to gorge herself with the berries, and had gone you. A familiar motherly voice interrupted her feast. The voice of her mother. A set of footsteps drew close to her, Rajora having caught her stuffing her face with pretty up here. Look at the It is beautiful up here, Majora replied. A perfect place for us to stop and rest for a while.
What is this?
By connecting these key points to my current self, the answer is simply that one's fate isn't sealed in stone.
Okay, those are all like high pitch.
I did achieve success.
What is
but
this?
not.
Hang on. Okay, that's something I can handle.
No. No! Yuna!
I might have to up that.
There we go. Her young self shouted as she started to run into the village and look through the ruins.
Okay.
She lifted countless boards, shouted her friend's name hundreds of times. You killed the little girl with short black hair.
That's fine.
Now the group of thugs were in a state.
Okay, okay. We can fix this. Okay, what about that right there? I can see that. What is that?
Has to offer. We don't back down. The rarest treasures this world has to offer. We don't back down from anything. Not even prissy little spitfires like you. The armed Ganyu was nearing the end of her patience. You dumb bitch! Kill her!
Okay.
He commanded. She demanded.
Alright.
You shut your damn mouth!
Okay. Just looking for lower frequencies like these.
I'm sorry, sir, but how do you know me so well?
Okay, that's good. Yeah, we're just looking for like lower frequencies that could possibly get affected by the noise gate.
What would I need to do?
That's good.
She questioned. What you're asking of me may be something I cannot handle. She explained. We'll fight with you as the price of redemption for my sins, Rex Lapis.
There we go. Okay, what do we got going
The
on
light
here?
pierced through again, but this time,
I
Ganyu had
see.
no idea
I
what would
see.
be next beyond the portal before her. The Archon War had brought many things in her time serving the Lord of Geo, so it could literally be anything. However, she could only go forward, so she did exactly that, preparing herself for the worst to come.
Ah, shit.
Passing the blinding rays, Ganyu was met with something unexpected. A blank space that was only occupied by one lone thing. A
my
massive
God.
Qilin that stood tall above her sat in patience as if it had been awaiting her arrival. And upon
Okay,
eyeing the
I'm not
beast
doing
more,
this.
Ganyu realized exactly who she was in the presence of. The spirit of the talisman that would be her judge in the trial. The sacred beast peeked its eyes open and stared down at her. Its irises radiated a golden glow, and Ganyu could feel them reading her over like a book as a prelude to judgment. Then, in a sudden moment, the monolith spoke.
Hello?
Thou who has accepted the trial.
Oh, I see it. Okay, okay, okay. I got a little confused for a second. Really? Oh, I see. Control A. Get rid of that. I need to zoom in over here. Need to make sure I didn't cut anything off.
And took time to just talk and indulge in Qilin cuisine. A paradise that Ganyu had taken time to soak in before retiring for the night in her original home that she'd longed to find for what seemed like an eternity.
Yep, that'll work. Control A. Boom. Shut up. Okay, I think that works. I think that works. I'll just double check one more
The
time.
thought that she'd be the one to judge their relationship. I just want my Ganyu to be happy. And if you're the person that she is happy with, along with the fact that you clearly love and accept her for who she is, then I am willing to welcome second thoughts about it. She was herself. A cheat.
I see why that's so choppy. I remember this chapter was fucking long. All right, let's export it. I think that should work. If not, we can always reconfigure it. It's not that big of a deal. That's why I like to do them all in the same run. TBOIL chapter. Wait a minute. TBOIL chapter 26. EQ clean. Oh yeah, almost 2,000 bars. So let's wait for that to export. Then we'll do 27, and then we'll do 28. So. That's why you never throw away your claim files, because, yeah, sometimes things can go wrong, and you want to be absolutely careful. Never throw away your clean or your raw files unless it is absolutely done. Like to a point of where you do not need to correct anything anymore. That is very important. That is one of the biggest lessons I have learned as a content creator. Do not ever throw away those files. Unless it's done and it's complete. Like if it's out, yeah, then you can throw them away. But it's always a good idea to keep an extra, just in case. You never flippin' know. I mean, I plan to release this on Bandcamp when it's fully done, but yeah, we're not quite there yet. We're getting close, but not quite there yet. Shit. Shit. Alright. So yeah, this will take a minute. Trust me when I say this is the easy part of this. The next part is really the part I hate about making these the most, because it's the same exact motion and coding, or not coding, but commands over and over and over and over and over again. But it's needed to make it sound like it actually is realistic. Because, yeah, without realism, it just sounds blank. Luckily, in the first chapter, we don't really have to add any effects for quite a while, so hopefully that's good. So essentially what we're doing is we're doing voice effects and, like, grouping. We're, like, putting them we're arranging them, we're arranging the audio so that it's, like, has proper spacing and stuff like that, and adding the voice effects. We do both of those as we go along, so. But first we need to get the EQ files before we do anything. Ouch. That hurt. No, the easy part is really just the recording process. The editing is the hard part. And this is the part where I really wish I could like listen to like music in the background or something, because it is a bore. It's literally the same, like, make another sample all over and over and over again. So it gets really boring. So having music on in the background would be nice, but when it comes to audio, you need to have your ears open completely. Otherwise, it's just not good news. Because you can easily miss something if you're occupied by music or something. If it was something that didn't involve audio, it would be better. I could actually do that. But it's very much important. Okay. Well, while this is doing its thing, I'm gonna go get a drink. Wait, what the heck? What the fuck? Okay then. Almost 36-starred Memory of Chaos today. Came so goddamn close, but god damn it, Sam. You're missing out on that. Yeah, I don't care. Okay. There's one down, or two down. Alright, now I need the chapter 27, which I think is shorter, if I remember correct. Oops. TBOIL chapter 27. Oh yeah. It's going way faster. Gotta remember to lower the thing where it would yeah, whatever I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's look for some lower stuff. Where is gone? Use first line. It's very evident when it's there.
2 weeks after Kuching's departure.
What the flip? The fuck? Hello? I don't know why that's happening. What the fuck? Wait. What the fuck? Stop. Okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is. Okay, let me do this thing. What the flip? That might be a problem. What did I do? Hello? Wait. Uh-oh.
2 weeks had passed in a
Okay, I don't know what the fuck it's doing that. That's a error or something. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Hey.
2 weeks.
Seriously, what the fuck?
Two weeks had passed in a flash.
I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. See, cross, stretch. I've had to have pushed something on accident. Oh, please don't tell me I'm gonna have to do that all over again. No, this shit irritates the fuck out of me. How did I do that? Hello? You can see it's the same still. The fuck? I've had to have done something up here or something. I don't fucking know.
2 weeks had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with...
Why are you doing this? I don't get it. Stretch, maybe?
2 weeks...
The flying fuck is going on? I've had to have clicked something on accident. How the fuck did I do that? I'm looking everywhere. What's this? Master pitch, 0 cents case, so no pitch. Not sure what the hell's going on here. Length, volume, pin, pitch isn't touched. What the hell?
2 weeks had passed in a flash.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. This thing is just being a fucking ass. Okay, now it's not doing anything. What the flip? Hang on. Is it the track that's doing this?
2 weeks had passed.
No, it's the program. It's the program. It's 110% the program. Because I don't think there's anything wrong with the audio. Let me double check that. This would be 27. Had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with your... Okay, I have no fucking clue what the hell is going on here. Why did I suddenly go 2 weeks had passed? I don't think I can even go that high, or that, yeah. Are you really gonna make me do this, you fucking asshole? God. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. I did literally nothing.
2 weeks had
I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Oh, it's pissing me off right now. Let me try loading a different sample. Like, oh, I don't know. Let's go. Just a random one. Let me see if, I don't know, if it's just being a dumbass. Which there's the potential it is. This is why I hate freaking Windows updates, because they screw everything up. Let me try this. This has never happened before, so I don't know what the hell his problem is. Usually something like that happens. It's a stretch, like, problem. Either that or there's layers on top of layers. Not sure what the fuck is going on.
Flash Sentry.
It's the program. You son of a bitch. I'm gonna have to restart it. Fudge. God, I hate when this fucking bullshit happens. It fucking pisses me off. Oh well, there goes my sanity out the window, I guess. No, it's not that big of a deal. It's just irritating. Because this should not be happening. It's just being a fucking cringe-ass bitch. Because it can. Fuck right off. It's alright. What's this? Channel volume. That's panning. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Piece of bullshit. It's not the profile. It's not the thingamajig. It's not the file, because I just played it on my phone. It's not the file. It's the program. Now watch. It's gonna be just fine. Because I don't know what the fuck happened for me to go all baritone.
2 weeks had...
See? Nothing. Fucking piece of fucking crap. I swear. That had to have been a malfunction with the program, because I don't know why that happened, but I gotta recreate fucking everything again. Thanks, computer. Really appreciate it. Really do. This poor piece of fucking bullshit. Sorry, this shit irritates the fuck out of me. No. Okay, calm the fuck down. It's over and done with. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Alright. The limiter's already good to go. Okay, now I just need to do the EQ again. Luckily, my EQ is actually pretty simple. It's not complex by any means. Yeah, that was a malfunction with the program. Absolutely. I don't know what the hell happened. Oh well, it's done. It's over with. So yay. It's about right there, or something like that. 5 is the one that's always the tricky one. Bring the 6 down a little bit.
2 weeks had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with 2 weeks had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with Rajora, Ganyu had become much stronger and wiser about her new self. Her spiritual connection to the Qilin god that had granted her her new strength and abilities had grown much stronger.
Okay, for some reason I didn't delete a mistake at the start. Okay then. Whatever. Hang on. Where's the mistake?
2 weeks had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with 2 weeks had passed in a flash, and in that time of training with Rajora, Ganyu had become much stronger and wiser about her new self.
There we go.
Her spiritual connection to the Qilin god that had granted her her new strength and abilities had grown much stronger.
Okay, stop. I just need to find the,
However, while Rajora was a caring...
Feels like it's missing a lot of, something in the EQ. Let's see if I can figure that out. Is it the 5?
However, while Rajora was a caring and gentle mother, she was much stern and strict as a mentor. However, it was because of that reason that Ganyu had achieved so much in little time, and that was something she could only thank her. However, while Rajora was a
That's better. That's better. That seems a little better. Yeah. Sorry guys, I have no clue what happened there. That was stupid.
2 weeks after Kuching's departure.
Yeah, that's all like stuff. Interlude. Alright, let's figure this out.
How she was dreaming. How she knew she was, she couldn't perceive, but she couldn't decipher any other explanation. Do not worry. I mean no harm, and will answer all of your questions willingly. Who are you, and why have you invaded my dreams? She questioned with clear authority that she wasn't. The answer to your first question has already been answered. The girl answered, turning slowly to me. It's true. Your assumption of my identity is correct. However, Morax above. What has happened to you? Too much for me to even remember.
Okay.
Ganyu was sold. I lost control of my own self and was locked away in the darkest recesses of my mind, left to fade away to nothing but a... And what happened? The controller of my puppet self is the person you know as number 2, or the doctor.
Okay.
She confessed,
I did cut
to
that
which
out.
Ganyu gasped, knowing who the doctor was very well. Sorry that you've had to suffer for so long, now. I'm so sorry that you've had to suffer for so long, Your Majesty. Ganyu comforted. I appreciate your words, but even as frail as I am, I know my dreams are long gone.
What is that?
I believe you, and thank you for believing in me. The Sarita compliment. What is it? Ganyu replied softly. What is it? In the Archon War. What is it?
Okay, there we go.
Ganyu replied softly. All right. I promise.
Okay.
She agreed hesitantly. The Sarita smiled. Thank you. I know I've put a heavy task on your shoulders, but please, believe me. Please, I need to know where they are. Droids are being produced and modified. The Sarita answered.
Okay, there's
I'm
the
very
cut.
sorry that I can't give you a better answer. On you, is everything okay? She asked. Ganyu wasn't surprised. I'm fine, Mother, she assured, following with a brief explanation of why she was actually troubled. However, I'm sorry to say that I must leave today, seeing something major has come up in relevance to our war against Nesnaya. Rajora raised an eyebrow, but she also could tell that Ganyu was being... There's no doubt in my mind that what you experienced wasn't... My heart yearns for the poor girl, God or not. So, I know, dear, Rajora said warmly. I'm so proud of the strong and beautiful woman you've become.
Okay.
And always have been.
I think that's good enough right there.
Ganyu smiled again, walking up to her mother and embracing her in a tight and warm hug. Rajora returned.
We're good. Alright. Now, no whammies this time. Computer. EQ clean. Okay. No more whammies, okay? It's gonna be a long fucking part. From what I calculated last night, it's going to be around 2 hours and 20 minutes. Somewhere around that range. See, the last one was like 2 hours and 33 minutes. I'm just making sure I'm live. Ow. Okay. Oh, Tonus V, I did not even see you. Sorry, I was preoccupied. I'm doing alright. The computer had a little hiccup in the program. For some reason, I sound like I was baritone, basically. When I loaded in the file, I tested it in my Google Drive to see if it was correct, and it was. But for some reason, I sounded like I was down in this kind of tone. Like, sounded like a baritone, like, monster. I. So, hopefully, no whammies. Hopefully, no whammies. Right now, we're just exporting the files with the EQs in them so I can work on them more effectively. Could be good in this setting, I guess. Not in this, not as a narrator. It sounds like someone like when they're in slow-mo, like, you know, get over here, you know, like that. It sounded like that. That legitimately be uncomfortable. Like, how could I narrate like this? How could I do that? That'd be weird. Unless I was like playing a character or something like that, which I have done that before. He who seeks the treasure, come forward. You know, like that. Like an almighty overlord or something like that. They put a lot of reverb on that, and yeah, it definitely sounds like an overlord. Alright. So we've got one more chapter to EQ, which isn't that long. So then we'll get to work on putting the effects in and hopefully getting at least 2 done today. But these chapters are freaking long, so I don't know. Plus, this is the process that I don't like to do the most because it's so boring. But hey, it is what it is, right? We're sitting at about 2 hours and 20 minutes in total for all the files. So yeah, this will be interesting. Okay, let's load. Actually, no, before I do that, I need to... Computer! Quit being a butt. I need to do this. Then I need to zoom out. What the fuck? Oh, I know what I did. Forgot to take a It's mistake up for some reason. Don't know why, but for some reason that got left out. Alright, now we just need the chapter 28 one. Let's see. TBOIAL chapter 28. Hello? Hello, is there anybody in there? Oh, I see what I did. I forgot to put a space. Alright, let's see what happens. This chapter is the shortest of them all, so hopefully it doesn't take me too long. Alright. Oh, fuck. Let's do something like this. Something like that, I don't know. Just make sure there's nothing left. Yeah, this freaking program does that. Okay, hopefully the EQ just plays nice. Because these were recorded at different times. Holy osmosis, let's cut that down a shit ton. Also, yeah, if you've never been here, I swear a lot, so... If you have a thing against swearing, well, too bad. That's how I speak.
The site of Dawn Winery came into Ganyu's view, having traveled miles upon miles to meet back up with one of her fellow comrades.
Let me just double check everything.
Welcome.
We're looking for the smaller frequencies.
Welcome back, Miss Ganyu. She greeted nicely. Do you know exactly what they were called away for?
Okay, let's bring this out a little more. That looks okay. That looks okay. We're looking for like smaller frequencies. Which the gain knob was turned up a little too much, but not low enough to where it was a problem.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. She apologized. We all reacted exactly the same. And don't be sorry, hun.
There we go.
Yelan answered. No, you're wrong, Miss Yelan. Ganyu answered,
Yeah.
causing the entire room to jump in complete shock.
Yeah, that
However,
looks okay.
upon her next words, it became clear to all why she had answered the way she had.
Alright, that looks good enough. Actually, let me check that end frequency right there.
Don't worry, we will.
Alright, there we go. Alright, that looks good enough. Export, MP3, TB, no. OIAL, chapter 28, EQ, clean. Alright. Then once this part is done, then we get to the work. The fun stuff. Which we're basically going to be working on grouping the file evenly in spacing and adding voice effects, like reverb and stuff. Music and all that comes in the last step. So, let's do it. Oh, I forgot to switch the title, didn't I? I did. Whoopsie. Okay, I don't need that open. Well, it's alright. It's not that big deal. It'll work itself out. These don't get much views anyway, so it's fine. Holy sub rate, Jesus Christ. Hey, don't get me wrong, I like my sub rate going up. Especially in something like YouTube where it's like, when you don't work for so long, people lose interest and you get like lost in the sea of the algorithm. Alright. So where are we starting? We're starting in the trial, right? I believe so. No, we're starting at the Peaks of Serenity. just cut all this out. Alright. Now we go to the mixer. And we get rid of these. We don't need these. Maybe, if it'll let me. Oh, we do it this way. Delete that. And delete that. Because we don't need those effects anymore. Alright. Load sample. Excuse me. TVO chapter 25. Where are these going, or what is going on? Sorry, just randomly stumbled in here. I'm working on a audiobook for this month. This is the part of the process that I hate the most, because it's just so boring. Alright. Excuse me. Jeez. Whoops. Oh. Okay, we didn't have to go back very far. Grab. Delete. Pull back. And paste. Oh, for God's sakes. There we go. Alright. Now, let me think here. We don't need any sound effects toward the beginning because they're not really talking that much. Not that I remember anyway. An access and pathway, blah, 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 blah. If there's no talking, I don't care. Yeah, it's like out in the wilderness. This morning again, those berries, blah, 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 blah. I think it's all the way past the first break. So where's the first break? Right there. Okay, there's the first line. Right there, yep. And now it begins. Oh, shit. Alright, what I need to do is I need to somehow get this to where, yeah, about like that. Okay, let's see if this might work, because it's doing the bracket thing and I hate that.
I suppose I should start from the beginning. The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make. Some thugs somehow got through the seals and attacked us with the sole intent of murder. We were drastically unprepared, believing that we were safe from outsiders. But I suppose fate had different plans. We shifted into our beastly forms and took the offensive, but were surprisingly subdued quickly by our foe's tactics.
Okay.
Your father, Vitoris.
Oh, let's do the grouping first. You know, I think everything's pretty even. But you never know. You never know.
Ganyu's original home had been very hard to get to, being hidden away from the world by the use of ancient Chilean seals that could only be accessed by said species. The first seal had been against the face of a mountain just north of Mount Hulao, having been covered by overgrowth.
Nope, we need it more stretched out. So, but I need the thing to be in the spot so I know where I'm pushing. Right there. Right there. I think it's something like this. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. Alright. Cut that. Bring this back a little bit. This isn't the worst part, so.
Could only be accessed by said species. The first seal had been against the face of a mountain just north of Mount accessed by said species. The first seal had been
There we go.
against the face of a mountain just north of Mount Hulao, having been covered by overgrowth of vegetation and being very faded by years of torment from the weather. However, Ganyu had found and accessed the hidden pathway as if it were common knowledge to her. The seal having opened to a long cave littered with overgrown plants. The seal having opened to a long cave littered with overgrown plants that radiated an icy blue glow that matched Ganyu's hair color perfectly. It was unlike anything Kuching had ever witnessed. The cave having led them to a forest that mimicked the. It was unlike anything Kuching had ever witnessed. The cave having.
I see that. I see that. Little air bubbles that get stuck in here. No, not right there. That's the most annoying part. Let's see if that might work.
Or wit.
Hang on. Oh, God, you are being a mother trucker today, aren't you? Yes, you are. No. You son of a... Oh. That's what this is.
Or witnessed. The cave having led them to a forest that mimicked the same blue coloration.
Okay. I think
Or
that
witnessed.
works.
The cave having led them to a forest that mimicked the same blue coloration.
That'll work.
It revealed a path that led them deeper into the land, the second seal having been the next obstacle to pass. Once again, Ganyu had passed the ancient lock as if it were nothing, and had allowed them to proceed into a new place that seemed alien. There were trees that were contorted and twisted with healthy green leaves, bushes that were littered with berries that grew the same blue light, and straight ahead was a ring of mountains with one entrance at the front. Thin hair-like strands hung from bushes that were littered with berries that grew the same blue light, and straight ahead was a ring of mountains with one entrance at the front. Thin hair-like strands hung from the outer faces of the peaks, glowing the same cold light as the vegetation in the first cave, and upon getting closer, the long branches that grew from the outer faces adorned large pods that resembled canopies. They were decrepit at this point, but it was in no doubt a beautiful sight. The views before Ganyu's eyes starting to stir up memories that had long been forgotten. It's all coming back to me, she said in wonder, raising her arm to the sky and pointing out towards something. That pot up there, that was mine.
Hang on. That needs a little bit more space. Because she's kind of bewildered. Okay, push that out. Let's see if that might work.
That pot up there, that was mine.
There we go.
My mother would let me sleep with her in it every night.
Give that just a teensy bit more space. See if that might work.
That was mine. My mother would let me sleep with her in it every night, seeing I commonly had bad dreams. She'd hum some lullaby to help me sleep, and before I knew it, it was morning again.
There we go. I'm going to leave all that space there.
Kuching smiled at her.
Actually, no, I'm not. Because I need to pull this back. There's no effects here, so that's good.
Before I knew it, it was morning again. Kuching smiled at her beloved's precious memory, happy that Ganyu was starting to recollect a time where she was free and innocent without a care in the world. Ganyu was in a trance of remembrance unlike any other, continuing to speak of a past that she'd buried thousands of years ago.
Okay.
Those berries. They're called firefly berries because of how easy they are to mistake for one.
Nope, I need to separate this just a teensy bit more. They're out in the open, so there's no echo effect going on.
Those berries. They're called firefly berries because of how easy they are to mistake for one. She continued, walking over and picking one from the bush.
Okay.
They were my favorite thing to eat because they taste sweet.
Alright.
She plopped the luminescent fruit into her mouth and immediately smiled.
Okay, pull that back. Right there.
Those berries. They're called fire because they taste sweet. She plopped the luminescent fruit into her mouth and immediately tasting her favorite childhood. They taste sweet. She plopped the luminescent fruit into her mouth and immediately smiled upon tasting her favorite childhood snack. She started to remember when she'd sneak off during sleeping hours to savor her taste buds with them, up until she got caught by her mother. It was a silly memory that followed up with when she and the other young Qilin would go off to pick them and bring them back to the main village. From there, the adults would make a jelly out of them and serve it on Vasca leaves, that grew from the trees of life.
Man, I was not paying attention yesterday, was I?
By going on grueling hikes from
Shit.
Their young Qilin would go off to pick them and bring them back to the main village. From there, the adults would make a jelly out of them and serve it on Vasca leaves, that grew from the trees of life.
Right there. Something like that, maybe?
Jelly out of them and serve it on Vasca leaves that grew from the trees of life. Ganyu's favorite dish and guilty pleasure as a child, seeing eating too much could cause obesity. Something she had to fix by going on grueling hikes from the bottom base of Mount Hulao all the way to the very top peak. A tread that took all day and had Ganyu's body back into shape after 5 times. She turned to Kuching and stated something that she felt was only fitting.
That needs less space. Cut. Okay, pull that back.
Had Ganyu's body back into shape after 5 times. She turned to Kuching and stated,
Nope. Too close. A little further out.
Had Ganyu's body back into shape after 5 times. She turned to Kuching and stated something that she felt was only fitting as her lover. Do you want to try one, my love?
Hang on.
Kuching jumped.
Hang on.
Only fitting as her lover. Do you want to try one, my love?
A little bit more space on that. Excuse me.
Her lover. Do you want to try one, my love?
There we go.
Kuching jumped, feeling as
There we
if
go.
eating a food that was sacred to the Qilin was taboo.
Okay, hang on. That needs a little teensy bit more space because it's more of a sentence than a reply to the sentence. Alright, let's see if that might work.
Do you want to try one, my love? Kuching jumped, feeling as if eating a food that was sacred to the Qilin was taboo.
Alright, there we go.
Are you sure it's okay?
Alright, let's push this out. Boom.
Taboo. Are you sure it's okay? She answered,
There we go.
I wouldn't want to offend any of your kind by doing so.
Hang on. Is that she asked?
She answered,
Yeah. Alright, let's push this out just a teensy bit more.
She answered, I wouldn't want to offend any of your kind by doing so. Ganyu giggled lightly, finding her beloved's reasoning fair, but she also knew it wasn't anything forbidden.
Okay, I need to get rid of that little air pocket right there. There we go.
You won't offend any of my kind. Thing forbidden.
Yep, that's good.
You won't offend any of my kind. Don't forget, you're my beloved. Therefore, your family. Kuching couldn't argue with that. She was Ganyu's most trusted and loved companion, so that made her one of her own kind, even if she wasn't actually a Qilin. However, she trusted Ganyu, so she felt safe to accept the offer. All right, I trust you. Kuching agreed, to which Ganyu followed by picking one of the small fruits from the bush. Thing forbidden.
Ah, shit.
All right, I trust you.
There we go.
Kuching agreed, to which Ganyu followed by picking one of the small fruits from the bush and handing it to her lover. Kuching accepted the offering and stuck the tree into her mouth. Once she bit down and the fruit's inner juices adorned her taste buds, she immediately fell in love with the flavor. Upon splitting open the snack, a cool essence overrode her senses, the sensation being similar to a cool feeling that a mint leaf causes upon chewing it. Following the cold burst, a sweetness graced her entire oral cavity, causing her to jolt at the taste and continuing to chew the delicious Qilin delicacy. Once she'd grinded the berry to a paste, she gulped it down and turned to Ganyu with a giddy smile. That was quite the experience, she commented, causing Ganyu to giggle.
Stop for a minute. I need to give that some more space. That is a bad habit I have got to break.
That was quite the experience, she commented, causing Ganyu to giggle. Delicious, isn't it?
Alright.
You to giggle.
Yep, a little too fast. Little too fast. So I'll push this out one bracket. That should do the trick.
You to giggle. Delicious, isn't it? Ganyu replied. Very. Thank you for allowing me to eat something precious to your kind. No need to thank me. Whatever is part of my Adeptus heritage is now a part of you, my love.
There we go.
Kuching blushed at the comment, walking up to Ganyu and pecking her lightly on the cheek. Ganyu giggled at the sentiment, returning back to the task at hand.
Okay.
All right. That's enough messing around for now. Let's get back to what we came here for.
Okay.
Kuching nodded, to which Ganyu answered by turning back to the main path and leading Kuching further towards the mountain entrance. Upon passing the opening to the inner center of the rounded mountains, a view of melancholy and dread came into view. Homes. Skeletons. Remnants of what was once a bustling utopia of gracious and calm beasts in shambles. A sight that immediately attacked Ganyu's heart and caused the painful memories of her last day there to replay. Tears immediately filled her eyes upon noticing one specific skeleton that she knew the identity of, the one that had kept her and her mother safe from assured death. Her father. The day of the attacks started to play out before her eyes, causing her to cry mildly. Kuching immediately comforted her beloved, remembering the night that Ganyu had told the very event that had caused the very remnants before her eyes. She put her left hand on Ganyu's right shoulder and rubbed it lightly in love and assurance that she was there to mourn with her. Ganyu accepted the sentiment, allowing her emotions to escape her in relief. This was something she had needed to confront for centuries, and now she finally had. While it hurt like hell, it felt so good to cry out the trauma of her past. Finally, she could leave the past behind and not worry about having those nightmares anymore. After a good amount of time, Ganyu finally wiped her eyes and took a deep breath. I can finally sleep peacefully without guilt, she said with relief.
Okay.
Thank you, Father, for keeping Mom and I safe that day. It's been hard, but I finally found happiness in love and friendship with my beloved Kuching after centuries of pain and loss.
Ah, I see. That's where I had to take a breath. So I need to bring that closer. Let's see. Right here, right?
Friendship with my...
Yes. Alright, let's see if we can bring this back a little bit more.
Friendship with my beloved...
Nope, that's a little too fast.
Friendship with my beloved Kuching after centuries of...
There we go. That's more like it.
Friendship with my beloved Kuching after centuries of pain and loss. She's for keeping Mom and I safe that day. It's been hard, but I finally found happiness in love and friendship with my beloved Kuching after centuries of pain and loss.
Much better.
She turned to Kuching with a smile and addressed the next step of the
Excuse me?
reason for coming here. Come on. The next thing I need to retrieve isn't far. Kuching nodded in understanding, starting forward with her beloved. However, after taking a few steps, something made them stop dead in their tracks.
Okay.
That essence, it can't be. A voice spoke from among the ruins, the voice being mature and motherly.
Okay, let's see. This is gonna be a tricky part. Okay, let's see. How long of a pause we got here?
In their tracks. That essence, it can't be.
Why did that come out as an
A
accent?
voice spoke from among the ruins, the voice being mature and motherly. Ganyu gasped at the voice, knowing immediately who had spoken. There's no way. That possibly can't be. From out of the ruins, a lady with long icy blue hair and a pair of long horns stepped out into the light, every aspect of her mirroring Ganyu perfectly. She was tall, had a mild amount of wrinkles around her eyes, and used a cane to walk. There was no doubt who she was, and it became all the more apparent upon her eyes beginning to water with tears. My daughter! My little Ganyu! She spoke, causing Ganyu to immediately begin to cry again, rushing forward and embracing her mother with love and emotion unlike any other. Ganyu bawled like a baby, having never expected to see her mother ever again in her life. But here she was, alive and well. The elderly Qilin just embraced her child with unadulterated love and comfort, completely bewildered that her only child had returned there. Shh. It's okay, sweetheart. She comforted emotionally. Mommy's here. Mommy's here. Always.
Okay.
Ganyu just continued to cry, embracing a reunion she had longed for so long. She was in her mother's arms again, warm and safe after over 3,000 years. Kuching just let the two be, just as amazed by the sudden unexpected encounter as Ganyu. She thought that all of the Qilin were dead except for her beloved, but now it was possible that more lived with this discovery. The two embraced one another for a long time, up until they finally released their hold on one another and looked into each other's eyes. Mother and daughter were together again, and it was all because of fate. Look at you. Ganyu's mother, and it was all because of fate. Look at you. Ganyu's mother stated. You grew into such a beautiful lady after all these years. No doubt you have your mother's looks. Ganyu giggled at the compliment, just allowing her mother to talk to her. I can't believe you're here, Mom. I've missed you so much. And I have missed you too, sweetheart. I never mother to talk to her.
Hang on.
I can't believe you're here, Mom.
Yeah, it's okay.
I've missed you so much. And I have missed you too, sweetheart. I never thought this day would come. But you have made it. You have made it back to your home. Ganyu wiped her eyes again, jumping at the sudden realization that she had yet to introduce her beloved. Oh! Mom, let me introduce you to someone very special to me, she stated sheepishly. This is my partner and beloved, Kuching. The elder-eyed Kuching with judgmental eyes. After all, she was a human, the very species that had nearly eradicated the entire Qilin race. Ganyu grew worried at her mother's expression and demeanor, scared that she might attack. However, she didn't pounce or say anything negative, only smiled. Greetings, dear, she greeted. My name is Rijora. I'm Ganyu's mother.
That works.
Ganyu was bewildered, but she was also relieved that her mother had accepted Kuching with open arms. I do apologize if I scared you for a second. I was simply reading your soul and saw that you are someone with a pure heart. Therefore, I have no reason to judge you harshly. Thank you? Kuching replied. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rijora. Rijora just smiled and Kuching replied.
Hang on.
Thank you? Kuching replied.
Nope, too fast. There's also one right here that's kind of too fast as well.
Thank you? Kuching replied.
Okay, pull that out.
Thank you? Kuching replied.
Much better. Alright, pull this out just a teensy bit more.
Thank you? Kuching replied. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rijora. Rijora just smiled.
That's too close, way too close. Alright, push that out about right there.
Thank you? Kuching replied. Rijora? Rijora just smiled and bowed in acceptance, following with something that was expected. You must have so many questions, sweetie, so allow me to answer them over some tea, Rijora explained. Please, come with me. I just brewed a pot. Ganyu and Kuching nodded and started to follow Rijora to wherever she'd taken up residency.
Hello? My God. Was that too far or was that too close?
I just brewed a pot.
Hang on.
Come with me. I just brewed a pot. Ganyu and Kuching nodded and started to follow Rijora to wherever she'd taken up residency after that tragic day thousands of years ago.
Right there. Yeah, no, you're not staying. Alright, let's see. That right there. Why can't you just behave and be a good program like you're supposed to be?
After that tragic day thousands of years ago.
That's better. Alright, so we've made it past the first half. Okay, the pause we don't really care about right now.
The walk to Rijora's residence had taken no more than 5 minutes. the abode being nothing more than a small hut occupied by a handmade bed, teapot, and some spare clothes. It was sad to see someone so accepting and caring living so poorly, but it was clear she'd known how to outlast the years, given that she was still alive and kicking. Rajor had poured Kuching and Ganyu a cup of some kind of tea neither of them were familiar with, seeing, as a child, Ganyu hadn't drunk tea as much as she does now. Drinking tea was more of an adult habit than a child's, so both of the lovers had no idea what they were in for. Their server joined them on the wooden floor, pouring herself her own cup carefully. She then sat the pot in the middle of the circle they'd formed, taking a subtle sip before starting her explanation on how she was somehow still alive. I suppose I should start from the beginning.
Okay.
The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make. Some thugs somehow got through the seals and attacked us with the sole intent of murder. We were drastically unprepared, believing that we were safe from outsiders. But I suppose fate had different plans. We shifted into our beastly forms and took the offensive, but were surprisingly subdued quickly by our foe's tactics. Your father, Vitoris, stood his ground to protect us, but eventually, his body succumbed to the blows. Out of pure instinct, I knew what I had to do, even if it broke my heart. I turned to you and told you to run and not stop until you were safe. It hurts so much to watch my only child leave, but I knew you'd die if I didn't make that decision. As for what happened after, I transformed and attacked without any hesitation. I took some hits and suffered some wounds, but I aimed for their heads and tore them off as fast as possible. I was hoping to force them to retreat out of fear, and it worked. They left and never came back again, but the damage had already been done. I attempted to heal your father back to health, but the wounds had been too much. I grieved majorly, having to tend to my own battle scars, which were mild in comparison. After I was healthy enough, I headed out to find you, but came up empty after centuries of searching endlessly. I never wanted to give up, but age began to take its toll on my body. I slowly lost my ability to walk normally, and if I stayed out too long searching, I'd become ill. I'm so sorry, Ganyu, but I had no choice but to stop for the sake of my own safety. I just hope you can forgive me. Ganyu shook her head.
Okay. Now we've got some sound effects to add. We're just waiting for it to get to the end. So let's see. So I need to make this unique as a sample first. This is going to be the norm for a while, so bear with me. Alright, we need to put this on 2. And we need to go to the second track in the mixer and give it a reverb. But not a strong one, because they're in like a very small, closed space. So that'd be like this setting. Around 20-ish%. Not even 20, more like 10. Hello?
I suppose I should start from the beginning. The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make.
Little too strong. So that needs to go down more. About 7.
I suppose I should start from the beginning. The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make.
Hello?
I suppose I should start from the beginning. The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make.
That'll work.
Some thugs somehow.
Hello, Tam. My God. I've missed working, believe it or not. Don't really miss this, but hey, it is what it is, right? Okay, let's listen to this.
I suppose I should start from the beginning. The day I had to make the hardest decision that no mother should have to make. Some thugs somehow.
I think I want more space where that happens. This one. I need to zoom in a little bit more. Seeing the fucking thing does not want to be a nice program and function normally.
Hardest decision that no mother should have to make.
There we go.
Some thugs somehow got through the seals and attacked us with the.
I feel like the is a little too. The speaking after the is too fast. So let's give that some space because it is a dramatic moment.
Hardest decision that no mother should have to make. Some thugs somehow got through the seals and attacked us with the sole intent of murder.
There we go.
We were drastically unprepared, believing that we were safe from outsiders. But I suppose fate had different plans. We shifted into our beastly forms and took the offensive, but were surprisingly subdued quickly by our foes' tactics. Your father, Vitoris, stood his ground to protect us, but eventually, his body succumbed to the blows. Out of pure instinct, I knew what I had to do, even if it broke my heart. I turned to you and told you to run and not stop until you were safe. It hurts so much to watch my only child leave, but I knew you'd die if I didn't make that decision. As for what happened after, I transformed and attacked without any hesitation. I took some hits and suffered some wounds, but I aimed for their heads and tore them off as fast as possible. I was hoping to force them to retreat out of fear, and it worked. They left and never came back again, but the damage had already been done. I attempted to heal your father back to health, but the wounds had been too much. I grieved majorly, having to tend to my own battle scars, which were mild in comparison. After I was healthy enough, I headed out to find you, but came up empty after centuries of searching endlessly. I never wanted to give up, but age began to take its toll on my body. I slowly lost my ability to walk normally, and if I stayed out too long searching, I'd become ill. I'm so sorry, Ganyu, but I had no choice but to stop for the sake of my own safety. I just hope you can forgive me. Ganyu shook her head, putting a hand on her mother's shoulder.
Okay, push that out a little bit more.
You can forgive me.
Too much. Hang on, I see there's a message. Just gotta get this in the right spot first. Something like that, maybe?
You can forgive me. Ganyu shook her head, putting a hand on her mother's shoulder.
There we go.
Mother, you don't need to be sorry for anything, she said sympathetically.
Okay, stop. I can't see behind the heart. What's your top 5 favorite fanfics? I don't know. Honestly, dude, I've read so many that sir or ma'am, I don't know which, but I've read so many, I can't really recall all of them. But my favorite MLP fanfic that I ever read, probably Process of Elimination, because it's actually one of the best that's still going. I do plan to finish that, don't worry. I do plan to finish it, it's just the author. The author needs to get stuff out before I can do anything.
Mother.
Okay. Now I need to, let's see.
Mother, you don't need to be sorry for anything, she said sympathetically.
Okay. I think I could just... Hang on. Let me double check on that.
Mother, you don't need to be sorry for anything, she said sympathetically. You saved my life. It gave me a longer life to live. I've met so many good people, experienced so many amazing things, and have found happiness because of your decision that day. Please, quit blaming yourself. I'm here now, safe and happy to be with you again. I love you, and always will, and will never blame you for age making it impossible for you to have continued to search for me. The fact you still wanted to look for me, despite your health, is enough for me to know that you've always cared and only did what you thought was best for me.
Okay, I think I'm just going to turn that into a conversation. Alright, about right there. We'll worry about spacing in just a second. Okay, let's find where the cut is, just so I just don't make a mistake. Make unique as a sample. Yeah. Put that on 2.
Mother, you don't need to be sorry for anything, she said sympathetically.
Okay, now get that out.
You saved my... on my...
Hang on. Hang on. She said sympathetically right there. Yeah, the program doesn't want to behave today, so I'm gonna have to do this more than anything, so just bear with me.
On my body. I slowly lost my anything. You saved my life. It gave me a longer anything. You saved my life. It gave me a longer life to live.
There we go.
I've met so many good people, experienced so many amazing things, and have found happiness because of your decision that day. Please, quit blaming yourself. I'm here now, safe and happy to be with you again. I love you, and always will, and will never blame you for age making it impossible for you to have continued to search for me. The fact you still wanted to look for me, despite your health, is enough for me to know that you've always cared and only did what you thought was best for me. Rajora wiped her eyes of her tears and met her daughter's gaze. A wave of relief suddenly came over her at her child's confirmation that she didn't blame her for anything. A relief she'd been searching for millennia. Thank you, sweetheart, she said with clear assurance, picking up and taking another sip.
Okay, that shows an action. It doesn't show an action, it indicates an action. Oh, here we go. This is going to be the boring part. This is going to be the boring part. Oh boy. We're just going to be doing the same circle of commands over and over again.
Thank you, sweetheart, she said with clear assurance, picking...
Okay, stop for a minute. I need to get that little click out. Did I ask for you? Go the f away.
Thank you, sweetheart, she said with clear assurance, picking up and taking another sip from her teacup.
Maybe.
You do not know how much this means to me. I finally have clarity and can sleep peacefully at night. However, there lies the greatest curiosity in my mind. How? How did you find your way back here? You were much too young to know how to access the seals. So how did you break them without teachings from the elders?
Okay.
Reality came back to Ganyu.
Aha. Alright. Let's see here. Yep. Alright. Can use this sample. Trust me, I have wanted to get back to this, but 2024 has just been rough, man.
You do not know how much this means to me. I finally have clarity and can sleep peacefully at night. However, there lies the greatest curiosity in my mind. How? How did you find your way back here? You were much too young to know how to access the seals. So how did you break them without teachings from the elders? Reality came back to Ganyu instantly, remembering why she had come here in the first place. Oh, well, I recently had an epiphany, and in it, I learned how to do so. However, my reason for coming back wasn't to confront my greatest demons, but to obtain something that can help me better my Qilin abilities. Rajora
Yep. Okay. Don't know where that came from. Alright. Right there. Oh, let me sit up. Okay, there's one thing I didn't like, and it was right there. This little thing right here. Let's see if I can get that out. I don't think that gets it out.
Oh, well, I recently had an epiphany.
That's fine.
And in it, I learned how to do so. However, my reason for coming back wasn't to confront my greatest demons, but to obtain something that can help me better my Qilin abilities. Rajora made an expression that clearly showed that she knew exactly what her daughter was talking about. Taking another sip and setting her cup off to the side. I see, and I understand. However, I must know what you'd need something like that for.
Okay, hang on. I mean, yeah, we can do that. Okay, I need to figure out where we're starting here.
I see, and I understand. However, I must know what you'd need something like that for. What you seek is a very sacred treasure. It must only be used for certain reasons. Not to mention, while you are an adult now, do you believe you are ready for such a thing?
Okay.
The simple answer is that I must be ready, Mother. Ganyu stated sternly. This concerns the entire world, and unless our enemy is stopped, all of us will perish.
Okay.
She followed up by
Okay. Yep. All right. Yep, that's correct. There we go. 1, 2. Let's see if that might work.
I see, and I understand. However,
Hold on. Let me see how long of a pause that actually is. Oops.
sip and setting her cup off to the side. I see.
Okay, a little too long. All right, there.
Sip and setting her cup off to the side. I see, and I understand. However, I must know what you'd need something like that for. What you seek is a very sacred treasure. It must only be used for certain reasons. Not to mention, while you are an adult now, do you believe you are ready for such a thing? The simple answer is that I must be ready, Mother. Do you believe you are ready for such a thing? The simple answer is that I must be ready, Mother. Ganyu stated sternly.
Stop. Get that out. Pull this forward a little bit.
Do you believe you are ready for such a... The simple answer is that I must be ready, Mother. This concerns the entire world, and unless our enemy is stopped, all of us will perish.
There we go. Oh. Well, oopsie.
The simple answer is that I must be ready, Mother. This concerns the entire world. All of us will perish. She followed up by explaining the entirety of what had happened since the night of Leeway Harbor's destruction, making sure to include every critical detail to convince her mother that she must let her do what she'd come here to do. At the end of it, Rajora was shaken, shocked that such things had become her daughter's reality. It hurt her heart, and that was enough to convince her. My daughter.
Stop. Days of Wasp and Spider is a really great fic if you haven't heard of it. Never have. Sounds interesting. Okay.
My daughter. I am dearly sorry for everything that has happened to you and your partner. Rajora stated. You've grown into such a responsible and strong lady, and I'm so proud of you for all you've done. This predicament more than meets the qualifications of using what you seek. Therefore, I will take you to it and teach you how to use it. Thank you, Mother. Ganyu thanked, happy that her mother had not changed at all after so many.
Okay, let's go out like this. Okay. Where does it start? Right there. Oops. This is gonna be a long freaking part.
And that was enough to convince her. My daughter, I am dearly sorry for everything that has happened to you and your partner. Rajora stated. You've grown into such a responsible and strong lady, and I'm so proud of you for all you've done. This predicts seek. Therefore, I will take you to it and teach you how to use it. And I'm so proud of you for all you've done. This predicament more than meets the qualifications of using what you seek. Therefore, I will take you to it and teach you how to use it. Thank you, Mother.
Oh. Push that out just a little
And I'm so proud of you for all you've done. This predicament more than meets the qualifications of using what you seek. Therefore, I will take you to it and teach you how to use it. Thank you, Mother. Ganyu thanked, happy that her mother had not changed at all after so many years. Rajora got to her feet and stated one thing before taking off to fetch the treasure Ganyu needed to gain an advantage in her current reality. After you two finish your cups, I'll guide you to the greatest treasure of the Qilin race. She explained. If I may ask.
Okay, that's Kuching.
What exactly is this thing?
Okay, I can include her and then put like Kuching said because the voice is newer, so it wouldn't be very clear who's speaking. Oh, hang on. I almost made a big mistake there.
What exactly is this thing? Kuching cut in, her curiosity burning to know the identity of this ancient relic.
Okay, hang on. Whoops. Make unique as a sample. Boom. Oops, wrong place. That's what I need. 1, 2. Alright, let's see if that might work.
What exactly is this thing? Kuching cut in, her curiosity burning to. Thank you, Mother. Ganyu thanked, happy that her mother had not changed at all after so many years. Rajora got to her feet and stated one thing before taking off to fetch the treasure Ganyu needed to gain an advantage in her current reality. After you two finish your cups, I'll guide you to the greatest treasure in race. She expects an advantage in her current reality. After you two finish your cups, I'll guide you to the greatest treasure of the Qilin race. She explained.
Okay. Now we can cut this.
An advantage in her current reality. After you two finish your cups, I'll guide you to the greatest treasure of the Qilin race. If I may ask, what exactly is this thing? The Qilin race. If I may ask,
A little too much.
the Qilin race. If I may ask,
There we go.
what exactly is this thing? Kuchin cut in. Her curiosity burned the Qilin race. If I may ask,
Yeah.
what exactly is this thing? Kuchin cut in. Her curiosity burning to know the identity of this ancient relic.
Okay.
Ganyu and Rajora's gazes met instantly, her beloved nodding her head as if to confirm something important. Ganyu's mother nodded back, turning to Kuching to confirm whatever she and her daughter had agreed to.
Okay.
The Talisman of Ascension. Rajora confirmed. The only thing that can unlock a Qilin's.
Can you give us a sample? Oh, these are the freaking scenes I just dread.
Qilin race. The Talisman of Ascension. Rajora confirmed. The only thing. The Talisman of Ascension. Rajora confirmed. The only thing that can unlock a Qilin's true potential. A delicate process that can be dangerous if the host is not ready. But I believe, given what I've heard, Ganyu is ready to ascend past her.
Okay, stop for a minute.
The Talisman of Ascension. Rajora confirmed. The only thing that can unlock a Qilin's true potential. A delicate process that can be dangerous if the host is not ready. But I believe, given what I've heard, Ganyu is ready to ascend past her current potential. Kuching nodded her.
Okay. Excuse me. Come on. Can you give us a sample? Come on.
The Talisman of Ascension. The only thing that can unlock a Qilin's true potential. A delicate process that can be dangerous if the host is not ready. But I believe, given what I've heard, Ganyu is ready to ascend past her current potential. Kuching nodded her head in agreement. Then she and her beloved were left to finish their cups. It was a quiet 5 minutes of slowly sipping down the unique brew.
Sell to
Both
your
of them knowing
customers
what came next
anywhere
would be
with Shopify, the commerce platform designed for entrepreneurs. Online, on social, in
I did not. Excuse me? I did not ask for your ass. Go away. Sorry.
with her strength and will as a Qilin.
Hang on.
Slowly sipping down the unique brew, both of them knowing what came next would be a challenge that only Ganyu could conquer with her strength and will as a Qilin.
Okay.
Rajora had led the two
Next.
lovers back to the ruins of the once Qilin society, standing before the littered remains of the past and awaiting further instruction from their guide. It was clear that she was reminiscing about the times when her fellow brothers and sisters were still alive and wandering the village without any worry. Times she wished she could have back, but knew that was impossible. Mom, Are you okay? Ganyu asked worriedly. Yes, dear. Nothing more than a lady enjoying what once was the great pastime of the worriedly.
Yes.
Yes, dear. Nothing more than a lady enjoying what once was the great pastime of the Chilan race. Rajora responded, her voice carrying a hint of emotion. Forgive me. The relic is under these ruins where the main Elder Temple used to be. They were the ones who guarded it until a Chilan turns the proper age for the process. Allow me to change form real fast so I can have the proper strength to lift this clutter. Ganyu shook her head instantly, knowing her mother was not in good enough health to transform.
I heard that. I heard that. You son of a bitch. Let's see if that might work.
Instantly, knowing her mother was not in good enough health to transform. No,
There we
Mother.
go.
You're not in the right health to do that. I'll change and do the job. Okay? Rajora felt emotion ping her heart, but knew very well that her daughter was absolutely right. Therefore, she swallowed her pride and allowed her child to take her position. Very well, sweetheart. She agreed. Just to be very gentle. You don't want to accidentally break the entrance where the talisman is being held. Got it. Ganyu assured, then,
Okay.
with careful focus, began to change into her Adeptus form.
If you're wondering why I'm not adding any effect, it's because they're out in the open. There's no effect there.
Just like in Inazuma, she grew the height of a monolith and became covered in icy blue fur that was as thick as a lion's mane. Rajora was quite impressed at her daughter's form, having not seen her that way ever since Ganyu was just a toddler. She was so proud that she smiled brightly, her daughter beginning to move aside all of the resting ruin of the Peaks of Serenity. As promised, Ganyu was very delicate with the litter, shuffling it aside with care, up until nothing but the ground was visible. That'll do, sweetie, Rajora commanded. I can handle the rest.
There we go.
Ganyu nodded her colossal head and quickly reverted back to her regular self. Rajora had already limped her way over to the target spot, having stopped to look it over. Ristala Remoratiso! She exclaimed in a very foreign language that the lovers could only... Ristala Remoratiso!
That'll work.
She exclaimed in a very foreign language that the lovers could only guess as some ancient Adeptus language.
Hang on. There's something I don't like here. Some ancient Adeptus language. Let me see if I can bring this back.
Ristala Remoratiso! As some ancient Adeptus language.
There we go.
She tapped her cane against the ground, and in a sudden burst of light, a new entrance had come into being, opening wide to where it could be accessed. Ganyu and Kuching met up with Rajora, only to find what looked like a gaping maw with a staircase just visible in the light of the area. Using some kind of Chilan art, her horns began to glow, confirming they were about to engage deeper below the current ground level. Stay close to me, Rajora stated, walking onto the staircase and leading her two attendees down. Ganyu and Kuching followed closely.
Okay. Now I gotta get this in the right spot. There we go. That's better.
And leading her two attendees.
Yep, that's correct. So I need to bring this back a little bit more. It's a little too much of a space. Ah, not that close.
And leading her two attendees down. Ganyu and Kuching followed closely. They followed and leading her two attendees down. Ganyu and Kuching followed closely,
There we
eventually falling into nothing but a sea of black, the lighting of Rajor's horns being the only thing guiding them the right way. It seemed like they'd been walking for at least 20 minutes, up until Rajor stopped dead. She tapped her cane's base on the ground again, immediately causing something to happen that neither of the two lovers had expected. A path that illuminated a blue glow as if it were a guide leading them to their preferred destination. Rajora confirmed that theory true upon her next statement. The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground is a massive labyrinth. So please, remain on the lit pathway, or this place might just end up being your tomb. Ganyu and Kuching.
Okay, so we're in like a cave. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. Let me get back to the right spot first, though. Right there. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're in like a cave setting, so there's gonna be a lot of echo. Let's see. So we're gonna need a new one, definitely. You get the sample. Yes. We need to go onto a different track. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we gotta give this an echo. Yep. Okay, so we need an echo, but not a like strong echo by any means. Maybe the default would actually work just fine. Let's go about. Let's just start with the 30%.
The elders devised a path that could only.
Okay, that's more like a memory. Let's go something like 15.
The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground is a massive labyrinth.
Hang on. Let me try something like that. Maybe. Let me try something like that, but do something like this, just to give it a good clarification. Okay, let's put this one on 4. Let me give the ambience that I'm going to use, and let's see how it fits. Yeah. Dungeon. All right. Go to the thing. We need to turn this down quite a bit because it's a very high quality track. About right there. All right, let's put like the ambience in and see where it sits.
The elders devised a path.
Okay, hang on.
Jorah confirmed that theory true upon her next statement. The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground is a massive labyrinth. So please, remain on the lit pathway, or this place might just end up being your tomb.
Not bad. Not bad. I think there's just a little too much on it. So let's turn the ambience down, or ambience. Turn the reverb down just a little bit more. Right there.
Jorah confirmed that theory true upon her next statement. The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground is a massive labyrinth. So please, remain on the lit pathway, or this place might just end up being your tomb.
That works. Alright, we got her. I need to push this out more as well.
Jorah confirmed that theory true upon her next statement.
Oops.
The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground true upon her next statement. The elders devised a path that could only be accessed by a Qilin to assure safety for the talisman. This entire underground is a massive labyrinth. True upon her next statement. The elders devised a path that could only...
Yep, that works. That works. Alright.
Place might just end up being your tomb. Ganyu and Kuching nodded in agreement, continuing further into the underground labyrinth and just end up being your tomb. Ganyu and Kuching nodded in agreement, continuing further into the underground labyrinth and being sure to tread carefully. It took a long 30 minutes to reach the end of the path, having come to a door with 3 specific patterns across it that resembled the seals Ganyu had broken to reach the Peaks of Serenity. We may have a problem, dears, Rajora stated, putting a hand to her face in slight stupidity.
Okay. So let's push this out. Also push this out just a teensy little bit. Oh yeah, there's only one sample. Make unique as a sample. I need to go here. I need to go... Why can't my brain think right now? 1, 2, 3.
Just end up being your tomb. Ganyu and Kuching nodded ears. We may have a problem, dears, Rajora stated, putting a hand to her face in slight stupidity.
The spacing when it comes to Atco is really hard.
We may have a problem, dears, Rajora stated, putting a hand to her face in slight stupidity. We may have a problem, dears, Rajora stated, putting a hand to her face in slight stupidity. I forgot that there were 3 elders for a reason. This door must be opened by 3 Qilin all at once, and unfortunately, there's only 2 here at the moment. They truly knew how to secure something that they knew that, if it ended up in the wrong hands, could cause the end of the world. Ganyu wasn't ready to give up, seeing she'd come this far.
Okay. Let's make sure we're getting the right sample. No. Shit. We need...
We may have a problem, dears, Rajora stated, putting a hand to her face in slight stupidity. I forgot that there were 3 elders for a reason. This door must be opened by 3 Qilin all at once, and unfortunately, there's only 2 here at the moment. They truly knew how to secure something that they knew that, if it ended up in the wrong hands, could cause the end of the world. Ganyu wasn't ready to give up, seeing she'd come this far. and wasn't going to let a clever form of could cause the end of the world. Ganyu wasn't ready to give up, seeing she'd come this far and wasn't going to let a clever form of that, if it ended up in the wrong hands, could cause the end of the world. Ganyu wasn't ready to give up, seeing she'd come this far and wasn't going to let a clever form of security stop her. She put a hand to her chin, hoping to find a solution, but Kuching beat her to the punch. Wait, I think I might have a solution that might just be crazy enough to work. Rajora's eyes bulged in curiosity, beat her to the punch.
Let me just keep this here.
Wait, I think I might have a solution that might... Wait, beat her to the punch. Wait, I think I might have a solution that might just be crazy enough, but Kuching beat her to the punch. Wait, I think I might have a solution that might just be crazy enough to work. Rajora's eyes bulged in curiosity, open to anything that might progress their current predicament, so she just agreed.
Okay, push that out. Just can't forget to take that out when I get to it.
But Kuching beat her to the punch. Wait, I think I might have a solution that might just be crazy enough to work. Rajora's eyes bulged in curiosity, open to anything that might progress their current predicament, so she just agreed. What's your plan? Well, it's definitely a long shot, but I thought back to something Ganyu said earlier, and it just might be the solution. Kuching explained. She stated that because I'm her lover and we share a strong bond, I'm family to the Qilin race in her eyes. Therefore, even though I'm not one of blood, maybe if Ganyu and I hold hands or something, it can fool the door? Rajora expressed a look of doubt, but given nobody had any better ideas, she was up for it.
Alright. You can use a simple. Bam. 1, 2, 3.
But Kuching beat her to the punch. Wait, I think I might have a solution. What's your plan? Well, it's definitely a long shot, but I thought back to something Ganyu said earlier, and it just might be the solution. Kuching explained.
Alright.
She stated that because I'm her lover and we share a strong bond, I'm family to the Qilin race in her eyes. Therefore, even though I'm not one of blood, something... What's your plan? It just might be the solution. She stated that because I'm her lover and we share a bond, it just might be the solution. She stated that because I'm her lover and we share a strong bond, I'm family to the Qilin race in her eyes. Therefore, even though I'm not one of blood, maybe if Ganyu and I hold hands or something, it can fool the door? Rajora expressed a look of doubt, but given nobody had any better ideas, she was up for it. Not going to lie, sweetie. That's quite a foolish suggestion, but also very clever. Rajora complimented. Let's try it. Kuching smiled and nodded, to which
Okay. Can you point out the reference? Need to put 16 on 3.
It just might be the solution. She stated that because I'm her lover and we share a strong bond, she was up for it. Not going to lie, sweetie. That's quite a foolish suggestion, but also very clever. Rajora complimented. Let's try it. Kuching smiled and nodded, to which Ganyu took her hand tight and positioned herself. Kuching took the middle seal, but also very clever. Let's try it. Kuching smiled and nodded, to which Ganyu took her hand tight and positioned herself in front of the far right seal. Kuching took the middle seal, and Rajora manned the far left, all three placing their hands on their respective seal. When you're ready, I'll start the process of breaking the seals. Rajora instructed. Got it. But what should I do to break mine? Kuching questioned, to which Ganyu answered quickly. Just think of the memories you've had with me. Ganyu instructed.
Okay, hang on. Let me think here.
When you're ready, I'll start the process of breaking the seals. Rajora instructed.
Yeah.
Got it. But what should I do to break mine? Kuching questioned, to which Ganyu answered quickly.
Push that out.
Just think of...
Stop. Stop for a minute. Let's see. Making you use a simple. Bam. 1, 2, 3.
When you're ready, I'll start the process of breaking the seals. Rajora instructed. Got it. But what should I do to break mine? Kuching questioned, to which Ganyu answered quickly. What should I do to break mine?
Yep.
Kuching questioned, to which...
That's definitely gotta go out because it's a little too quick. Boom, boom. Let's see if that might work. Oh, hang on, no. I think I was in the wrong spot. One, two, three. Let's see if this might work.
Process of breaking the seals. Rajora instructed. Got it. But what should I do to break mine? Kuching questioned, to which Ganyu answered quickly. Just think of the memories you've had with me. Ganyu instructed. Our bond is the key, and the more you think of our memories together, the more energy is exhumed. Kuching nodded with a smile, confident that she could do it.
Stop. Making you use a simple. And we're not even done yet.
Just think of the memories you've had with me. Ganyu instructed. Our bond is the key, and the more you think of our memories together, the more energy is exhumed.
Okay, pull this back a little bit.
Kuching nodded with a smile. Just think of the memories you've had with me. Our bond is the key, and the more you think of our memories together, the more energy is exhumed. Kuching nodded with a smile, confident that she could do it. Right. Thanks, Ganyu. Ganyu just bowed her head as an answer, to which Rajora took action of preparing for the
Stop for a minute. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Okay.
Confident that she could do it. Right. Thanks, Ganyu. Ganyu just bowed, confident that she could do it. Right. Thanks, Ganyu. Ganyu just bowed her head as an answer, to which Rajora took action of preparing for the process of breaking the seal. On the count of 3, Kuching took that as her cue to begin the reminiscing.
Stop for a minute. 1, 2, 3.
On the count of 3, Kuching took that as her cue to begin the reminiscing. So to count of 3, Kuching took that as her cue to begin the reminiscing. so she closed her eyes and went into a deep trance to remember all of her recent memories with her beloved.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. Use a sample. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I gotta push this back quite a bit. Right there.
Recent memories with her beloved. 1, 2, 3. Kuching worked quickly, immediately finding the first most precious memory of Ganyu she treasured. The night they finally confessed to one another and made love together. She and
What the fuck? Oh, hang on. Oh, I see what happened. I see what happened. I see what happened. Ugh.
recent memories with her beloved. 1, 2, 3. Kuching worked quickly, immediately finding the first most precious memory of Ganyu she treasured. The night they finally confessed to one another and made love together. She envisioned the feeling of her beloved pleasuring and exploring her with absolute curiosity and bliss, up until her body succumbed to it all. That was a night she'd never forget, and the next one was just as prominent. The scream that had awoken her out of a short sleep. The moment that had strengthened their bond as lovers. That was the night her beloved had shared her most tragic and personal memory, a sign of absolute trust and true love. Next came when Ganyu had served her dinner in Sumeru, followed by their first bath together, their night on the bow of the Yaokor, and lastly, the moment where it all began. The day of Kuching's initiation as the Yuheng, and when she saw Ganyu for the very first time. She had been standing with her back to her outside of Yujing Terrace, a sunset having adorned her as a background and caused her to stand out. While she hadn't known it yet, that had been the moment her spark for Ganyu had been lit in her heart, especially when she had turned to face her for the first time and she had seen Ganyu's beautiful eyes. At that time, she couldn't even say a word because she was awestruck by the woman she'd laid eyes on. She had no idea how Ganyu had taken her likely awkward as hell stare, but it didn't matter now, because they were together and loved each other dearly. Ganyu, come here and introduce yourself to our newest staff member, Ningguang had said.
This is gonna be a tricky one. So how do I make this like a memory? Either that or that's gonna like be a mixing thing, because I can like make it as if it's like that day all over again. Like I feel like that is better because I feel like that just feels more realistic. So I'm just gonna leave this part alone and not worry about it for now.
Ningguang had said. You two will be working together a lot, so it's best you two get to know one another well. That's when Ganyu had turned, and Kuching had been love-struck silly. Oh, coming, Lady Ningguang, Ganyu had said, and had hurried to meet her new co-worker. Hello there. My name is Ganyu. I'm the head secretary for Yujing Terrace. It's a pleasure to meet you. And Kuching had just stood still, probably making Ganyu heavily uncomfortable, up until Ningguang had knocked her out of Cupid's influence on her senses. Lady Kuching, aren't you going to say anything? She had jumped back to reality, having cleared her throat to regain her composure. My apologies, Lady Ganyu. The sunset is just, you know, quite appalling. That I lost focus for a second.
Okay.
My name is Kuching, and I'll be working alongside you as Yuhung. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. After her bumbling, all Ganyu had done was bow respectfully as a response. It had been a very awkward start to a growing bond, but after a few times working out in the field, she and Ganyu had grown close as colleagues. She was so deep in her memories that she hadn't even realized that, once she had opened her eyes, they were radiating a glow as bright as the sun. Not only that, her plan had succeeded, and the seals had all been broken. She was flabbergasted. She'd managed to, through probably the most absurd plan she'd ever devised, surpass ancient magic older than her entire family. There was no doubt that she was the former Yuhung, seeing only someone like that could make something so comical actually work. I can't believe that actually worked, she stated as a way to congratulate herself.
Okay, back to this. Don't know what I'm actually going to do for this scene yet, but we'll get there when we get there. We'll worry about that when we get there.
I can't believe that actually worked, she stated as a way to congratulate herself. Nor can I, Rajora stated. Huh. It seems my daughter sure has something truly special. More than you can ever imagine, Ganyu chimed confidently.
Okay. Unique is a simple.
She stated as a way to congratulate herself. Nor can I, Rajora stated. Huh. It seems my daughter sure has something truly special. More than you can ever imagine, Ganyu chimed Nor can I. Huh. It seems my daughter sure has something truly special. Nor can I. Huh. It seems my daughter sure has something truly special. More than you can ever imagine, Ganyu chimed confidently.
Okay, there we go.
Kuching blushed at the compliment, rubbing the back of her neck shyly. Rajora broke the flood of graces by re-establishing why they were there in the first place. Alright, now comes the most dangerous part. The ascension itself. Across the room in front of them was three things. Close.
Okay, stop. Unique is a simple. Bam. Itchy, itchy, itchy. 1, 2, 3.
Alright, now comes the most dangerous part. The ascension itself. Across the room in front of them was three things. Closest was a stone pedestal that housed one thing that resembled an oversized Mora. Then, on the far side, was a golden statue of a Qilin that had a provided seat in the center between its two front legs. Last was hieroglyphs that told a story of an ancient past that was plastered on all three of the walls, most likely something in relation to what was about to occur. I'll only ask one more time, Ganyu, Rajora stated in a very serious tone. Are you sure you want to do this? Because once the process starts, there's no going back. Yes, I must do this for the safety of Tevat's people. Ganyu decided. Very well. Then please take the talisman and stick it into the slot in the middle of the statue's forehead. Rajora instructed. From there, you will seat yourself in the middle section of it and await the Qilin god to connect with your psyche. You will be on your own from there. So good luck, and do your best to earn the knowledge of the talisman. Whenever you are ready, sweetheart. Ganyu nodded her head.
Okay. Where is that? Right here?
I'll only...
Unique as a sample. 1, 2, 3. Alright, let's see if this is too far.
To occur. I'll only ask one more time, Ganyu. Resorted in a very serious tone to what was about to occur. I'll only ask one more time, Ganyu. Rajora stated in a very serious tone. Are you sure you want to do this? Because once the process starts, there's no going back. This to what was about to occur. I'll only ask one more time, Ganyu. Are you sure you want to do this? Because once the process starts, there's no going back. Yes, I must do this for the safety of Teyvat's people. Ganyu decided. Very well. Then please take the talisman statue's forehead. Rajora, yes, I must do this for the safety of Teyvat's people. Very well. Then please take the talisman and stick it into the slot in the middle of its people. Very well. Then please take the talisman and its people. Very well. Then please take the talisman and stick it into the slot in the middle of the statue's forehead. Rajora instructed. From there, you will seat yourself in the middle section of it and await the Qilin god to connect. You will be on your own of the statue's forehead. From there, in the middle of the statue's forehead. From there, you will seat yourself in the middle section of it and await the Qilin god to connect with your psyche. You will be on your own from there. So good luck, and do your best to earn the knowledge of the talisman. Whenever you are ready, sweetheart. Ganyu nodded her head and walked forward to the pedestal of the statue's forehead. Whenever you are ready, sweetheart. Ganyu nodded her head and walked forward to the pedestal supporting the talisman. After taking a long breath, she took the talisman from its resting spot and placed it in the slot positioned on the statue's forehead. Once the relic was in place, Ganyu took another deep breath to calm her nerves, then sat herself in the provided throne, awaiting whatever was to come next. At first, there was nothing but silence, up until Ganyu suddenly felt a surge of ancient power attack her senses. A sensation overwhelmed her instantly, and whatever was to come next. At first, there was nothing but silence, up until Ganyu suddenly felt a surge of ancient power attack her senses. A sensation that overwhelmed her instantly and knocked her unconscious. The trial of the talisman had officially begun.
Okay. There's all that out of the way. Good Lord Almighty. Alright, all effects are now added. Alright, export, MP3. TBLIL chapter 25. EQ, effect, add. That is one of the biggest parts. Alright, I need a break. I need a break. While that exports. about some prints, whatever. Is the right one, right? Yeah.
Can you?
Perfect. That's low.
So you've come at last, thought you left me in the past. Guess it was too much to be ignored. You changed your tune pretty fast, I've just one question to ask. Do you think I'm what you're looking for? Get up and look me in the eye. I wanna see how well you lie. Always act like the righteous one while I'm always on the run. Loyal until you start racing. While I'm just trying to survive, you're living in overdrive. Nice to have friends in high places. Must be nice to have friends in high places. You've changed your mind after the years left behind. Turn me up, but now you think we're friends. Save it, don't waste your breath. Your preaching bores me to death. We both know how chasing rainbows ends. You were the one that shot me down. Your loyalty won't save me now. Push myself to the breaking point to have all my dreams destroyed. Gave it all up, now I'm jaded. See you painting the sky rainbow while I live in monochrome. Wish I had friends in high places. You make sure that I fail to see every single lie that you say to me. Now you wanna talk, but don't push your luck. I think it's time that you shut the fuck up. Why don't you shut the fuck up? The world thinks you're a light in the dark. Hope it's worth tearing me apart. How many collateral cases? Promised we could get out of here. I was stabbed in the back instead. Fuck having friends in high places. Fuck having friends in high places.
I know there's a lot of talking in the next one as well. It's also a freaking long chapter.
Friends in high places. Hello world, wake me up to another good morning. Time to
Better not be
go.
what I think it is.
Oh, we are all.
Okay, it's game music. Good.
This is all I want.
One of my favorite tracks off this album. Love how heavy he went with this album. So good.
For 1,000 years, we would come to this.
Yep, just working. Yeah, just on a break right now. Do I want to do the next chapter or do I not want to do the next chapter? How long have I been streaming for? Almost 3 hours. So
Colder than the night where you chose to fight in the dark as she walks in moonlight. But though the sun rises each day, so must the moon light the way.
okay, that is cringe. That's easy. Okay.
It's raining now as they sell you out. They broke their word 1,000 times. Their secrets kept behind their eyes. Still raining now. Should you cut them out? While blood and tears can lighten you, a liar's life is worth the truth.
All right. I'm just deciding whether or not I want to do another chapter or not. How long is this? 36, about 37 minutes. All 38.
It's quiet now as the sun comes out. Pushed you one too many times, so brought the silence with
I don't know.
lies. Still quiet.
How many, like, voice lines are... Oh, yeah, there's all those lines in there. I think 3 hours is good enough. I think 3 hours is good enough. Okay, delete. I think 3 hours is good enough for one day. So I think I'm going to call it there. Because this next chapter is a big one. So I have to have my brain at full capacity in order to even go any further. This is just something with me. Maybe if it wasn't like, oh, I don't know, you know, hours of work, it would be okay. But yeah, this is just, this next chapter is a big one. Like, we're talking over 7K words of shit. That's a lot of work. But yeah, I think that's good enough for one day, I'd say. Let me go ahead and get that up to my drive first while I'm at it. Still not going to delete the clean file because it'd be stupid. Excuse me. I'd say that's enough work for one day, wouldn't you? Ow. T. Oh my god. 25. That's the one. 36 minutes isn't much on the MP3 format. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare when I have to freaking upload all this to freaking Bandcamp. It is gonna be a nightmare. But that wasn't too bad. Anyways, I'm gonna take off, guys. But thank you for joining. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you enjoyed. Sorry I can't make it any more entertaining than that, but yeah, that's just how it goes. But thank you all for joining me. I'll probably get back to this tomorrow. Around the same time. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Maybe.